Hey trackies, welcome back to another video here on TXT Track Time. Please remember to like the video and also subscribe to the channel. Also, trackies, one of the red hot, highly anticipated events at this World Indoor Championships has kicked off, and it has kicked off in a really spanking fashion. Now I'm talking about the men's 60 meters, and yes, all the guys that we're looking out to see. We're talking about our very own Ackeem Blake from Jamaica, plus Americans Chistian Coleman and Noah Laz have turned up and done the job to make it through to the semi-final round. Now, the semi-final round comes up later on today with the final as well. So every action or all action comes up today with the 60 meters. But of course, I'm going to get through the rounds and tell you my thoughts as it relates to what transpired in this men's 60 meters. Now, I'm going to quickly share my screen so that you can see the results of the races. And then, of course, I'm going to tell you my thoughts. So, clearly, right here, you can see this is a summary of the results. Chistian Coleman took his heat. He ran the time of 6.49 seconds. Now, also taking their heat was Ferdinand Omanyala. He ran a time of 6.52 seconds. Shuhei was second in that race, running 6.52 as well, and that was a national record. Taking his heat from Cameroon was Emmanuel Esime. He ran 6.54, a national record for him. Now, Ackeem Blake from Jamaica also took his race, running 6.55 seconds. And as well, Noah Lyles took his heat, running 6.57 seconds. Now, Mario Burke was second in Chistian Coleman's heat. He ran a time of 6.58 seconds. So, with that said, trackies, this is pretty much, the athletes I would say you'd look out for in the next round. These, for me, are the top athletes that not only will be featuring in the semifinals, but for me, also featuring in the finals. These are definitely the athletes that I believe will make it there. Now, trackies, what is interesting is how these athletes looked. So, Noah Lyles took to his race, and trackies, he got off to a very slow start, but did enough to take the win eventually in his race, running 6.57 seconds. I believe that, as the rounds progress, meaning as he gets to the semifinal, he will turn things up a notch and be able to run much faster. But it's a key note that his start was less than impressive. Now, trackies, Chistian Coleman, he came up in his heat, and I don't lie, he looks the best out of all the athletes that I've seen so far. He literally got a flyer and then shut it off and cruised in to run 6.49 seconds, which tells me this could be a Chistian Coleman that is ready to run 6.3s in this particular one final when it comes up later on today. So I'm excited to see that race. Now, I saw somebody telling me earlier that Chistian Coleman could break the world record. Then I'm not gonna lie. Based on this first round run, he looks like he can definitely break 6.4s, and I'm excited to see how fast he can go in the 6.3 realm. Can he break world record? I'm not really seeing it yet, but he definitely looks like he's on the verge of breaking 6.4s. That is for sure. Now, trackies, the Jamaican Ackeem Blake did his thing as well, running 6.55 seconds to take his race. Got a flyer as well. However, he did not shut it down, quite as easily, I would say, as Chistian Coleman did. Did run through the line. But again, as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to Jamaicans and managing rounds, they definitely do enough to qualify. So he looked very easy as well. Not as easy as Chistian Coleman, but he looked very easy as well. So if I was supposed to rank performances based on how easy the athletes look, for me, Chistian Coleman is leading. Then I'm going to go with Ackeem Blake, and then I'm going to go with Noah Lyles when I take into consideration how they typically execute their races. So with that said, we're heading into the semifinals a bit later on in a few hours, and I'm excited to see how the Jamaican one, Ackeem Blake, will, factor in that semi and of course the finals. For me, it's a good look. But personally, I also want y'all to look out for, I believe, Esimi. He ran a national record, but for me personally, he looks like he had more in the tank. So look out for him. He ran 6.54. Believe he can go faster. Also, Shuhei Tada from Japan, and as well Ferdinand Omanyala. So those are the athletes that I want y'all to keep your eye on when it comes to potential anybody that could, cause an upset. I don't necessarily believe that they will upset the top three, but if it's going to happen, then it may come from one of these athletes. Now, with that said, trackies, I want to jump on over to the 800 meter heats. Now, for the women, we had Natalia Gould here. This is her first 800 meters of the season, and she navigated, her semifinal run or heat run, sorry, very easily with Alimu, who is the world leader so far in the women's 800 meters. She ran a season's best time of 2 minutes 00.83 seconds. So very good qualifying. She finished second in her heat, as I said, behind Alimu from Ethiopia. Ethiopia took Alimo took the race running 2 minutes 00.50 seconds. So very easy qualifying for Natalia Gould. As usual, look out for the top guns that you expect in the 800 meters. Apart from Alimo, you can definitely look out for Gemma Riki as well. She looked good in her race as well. Now track is moving on to the men's 400-meter heats. Are we starting with the men here? Right, the men's 400-meter heats. Rashid McDonald runs a personal best. Very, very good running. And he finished second in his heat to run 46.25 seconds. This is a personal best. Now, personally, when I looked at how he executed his race, I loved it because he tactically ran the 400 meters wisely when it comes to indoors running, knowing how to get pole position coming off that turn to cross over. He did well not to just do an immediate abrupt cut off or cut over into, lane one. Loved his execution in this race. And if he keeps it up, track is, who knows, maybe he can definitely find himself on the medal podium at this championship, right? But good running from, again, Rashid McDonald. He's third fastest so far now going into the overall semi-final. Let's see what happens when the next rounds progress. But great running, as I said. I'm looking forward to seeing what he has to give in the rounds to come. Now, in the women's 400 meters, it was tough going for Jamaica. But we did get Stacy to qualify as a non-automatic qualifier. She qualified with a time of 52.16 seconds. And unfortunately, track is our other Jamaican just missed out by a few hundredths of a second. That is Cherokee Young running 53.04 seconds. So she really just missed out on getting a spot to the semi-final. Now track is, when I look at the overall field, though, I'm not gonna lie, it's going to take a lot to beat out the likes of Femke Ball. She literally walked her race and ran 52.17. Then there's Lika Clave looking fantastic as well. Plus the American also really, really looks good in this race. Looking to see her name pop up here. Alexis Holmes. She looked really, really good as well, easy in qualifying. So it is going to be a bang up women's 400 meters, semifinals, and of course, finals as well. Jamaica kicks 1 through to the semifinal. It's going to be tough going for Stacey to make it past the semifinals, but let's see if she can turn things up a notch when she gets there. All right, now track is moving on to the women's shot put. This was the first final that issued out medals so far for this World Indoor Championships, and it was a really, really hotly contested women's shot put final, right? And in this, Canadian Sarah Mitten walked away with the win, running 20 point. Not running, sorry, throwing 20.22 in meters for the win. Then we had from Germany, Yasime or Yamisi. She threw 20.19 meters for a personal best. And Chase Jackson, formerly Chase Ely, threw 19.67 meters to take bronze. Now, our Jamaican Danielle Thomas Dodd finished sixth, throwing a season's best of 19.12 meters. So, Tracky, she came into the competition and she definitely overshot what she had done so far this season. Wasn't quite enough to get her on the medal table, but still a great placing, considering, again, based on the distances that she had thrown heading into the meet. So for me, that's a positive to take away from this meet heading into the outdoor season for our Danielle Thomas Dodd. All right, so trackies, that is it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below now. Sound off in the comment section. Like the video, of course, and subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.